And welcome back YouTube to another episode of the tutorial. Yeah, part 3. I actually thought we were gonna finish this like 2 parts and we're gonna be done with the whole thing, but no. We still have part 3, and finally we are at the part where I'm most interested in: localized resource logistics. So let's jump in it. No narration? Okay. We're going to learn about supply chains in localized resource mode. This tutorial will be of most help in preparing for campaign playing. We're going to do the entire tutorial with autoplay forces, first introduced in the strategic control tutorial. We'll do everything in fleet interface. Let's open it now. Press E. I have created a resource harvesting fortress for you. It has resource gatherers on it, powered by fuel engines. It generates material but it needs fuel. You mouse over it, yeah. Material 100, fuel 100, checked. Okay, let's move the material gathering into the resource zone. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, done that. Well done. Material gathering is now in the resource zone. We decide to burn fuel to gather material. Okay, we will need to refine fuel in order to keep the material going. The gathering, not the material. We'll build a few refinery material gatherer, but as we are learning about logistics, I'll create a refinery vehicle for you. Yay! Let's put both of these into the same fleet, okay? Now let's rename the fleet into processing fleet. Okay. Yeah. Processing fleet. Accept. Yay! What we want to achieve is the material giving material to the refinery, which will in turn fuel and give the fuel to the material gatherer. Okay, yeah, I get it. We will do that using supply groups. First we put resource view. Alright. Well done. Now select the material gatherer forces. Okay. We'll now set minimum amount of different material. Okay. We'll keep. Oh, this is the minimum amount of different resources we will keep. Resources above this slots can be given away other forces, but will never give much away that will drop below these procurement levels. Okay, set the material to keep low material and large amounts of fuel. Alright. Allows fuel, but we don't set the procurement to maximum, as it will be other forces in our nation that will want some fuel too, so we want to keep things flexible. Now select the refinery forces.
Listening.
Set the refinery to keep loads of material. Alright, and tad bit of fuel. Yes. Design levels are now set, but nothing is happening. That's because we need to assign these two forces to the same supply group. There are 5 supply groups. Phases in the same supply group will automatically share and distribute their fuel, ammo, energy, and material with each other. Let's put both of these forces in supply group 1.
Listening.
Or both at once and click the right flashing button. Okay. You will now see numbers flying around on the screen representing the flow of material and fuel between the two. No. Yeah, that's simply not going to happen. This one has material. This one has no material.
Listening. Listening.
This one still has material. This one still has no material. Do we select both of these? Okay.
Listening.
Yes.
Listening. Listening.
This is something that happens in a campaign as well. This is an old problem. Usually you would solve this issue by putting them in play and back out of play. However, since can we put them out of play? Are not available right now. Okay, so it's broken. Okay, fine. I'm guessing we can still continue. Distant boat, combat boat with no fuel and no material, and supply vessel, supply boat with lots of storage capacity for fuel and material. We will start by telling processing fleet to force give to the supply fleet. Okay, select the supply boat force.
Receiving.
we're going to use what I call a wand to set up supply routes. Wands are triggered with left click and right click cancels the use of the wand. Yeah. Press the full stake wand. Okay. And flashing red and use left mouse to select the processing fleet. This will make the processing fleet give supplies of all types to the supply fleet, okay? Right click now to stop the wand operation. We choose full stake instead of take because we want the supply fleet to be flooded with as many supplies as possible, not just up to the procurement levels. Now we're gonna move the camera a bit so you can see everything. Press use give and flashing red and use the one to select the combat fleet. Okay. Right here. Well done, the supply fleet will give the combat fleet. Well done, you stop using the one by clicking right mouse button. Okay. We will now wait here until the supply boat has full of fuel and material. Which will not happen because these two do not work. So we're gonna... Yeah, 10 times the speed it won't do anything, so we're gonna just press enter. But... yeah. The processing fleet will give fuel and material to the supply fleet once they have an access. No, it won't. Because we set the refinery material guide to demand high amounts of material and fuel, respectively, it will take some time. No, it won't. While we wait, it will take an infinite amount of time. While we wait for the computer to procure, we want to see the procurement levels to the bar menu so that most of the supply are given away to the fleets we are supplying. Right, so supply fleet minimum is now free. It will lots of material, it will give a lots of fuel. Wait until the supply fleet is full. This will not happen. Press enter. Now we will move supply fleet near combat fleet to allow the resupply, or the supply fleet to move near the combat fleet. Okay, supply boat.
Moving now.
Now we will set the procurement level to combat boat so it can fully resupply by supply fleet. Let's set the procurement material to the maximum levels. Combat boat, maximum. Okay, we have learned how to use supply groups to share supplies and use supply fleets to lure supplies from places where we are producing to places where they're used. If you move supply fleet back and forth between the processing and combat fleet, that's the... Give me a second. That's something... This was definitely not as informative as I hoped to. Like I would prefer like it explains the automatic, how we can move them back and forth without actually controlling them manually. But either that's not an option, either this tutorial is not complete. Also, of course, the two things are broken here. I can't help with that one. So yeah, this tutorial a bit disappointing. Now, I kinda knew that in advance, but still. I really... Yeah, it's... Moving them manually, it's annoying part, so... Something I would wish to resolve, but not going to happen again. Let's return to the main menu and proceed to the next tutorial. We still have a couple of them to go. APHE crime cannons. Let's do this one. No narration? Good. It's difficult to succeed in all your battles with only missiles, so we will be looking at how to build a new weapon. This time we will construct a simple armor-piercing high-explosive APHE crime cannon.
We're going to do some building now. From the Depths uses a novel, keyboard-based building approach.
Okay, yet again this one.
Mouse-based building options as well. We always recommend
crime cannons can make the biggest booms by lobbing massive shells at your target. They work by cramming pellets into the shell and then firing it. The shells are quite slow, but can pack a tremendous punch. Yeah, the biggest weakness of crime cannons is their speed, pretty much.
Press enter at auto-complete. Enter build mode by pressing B.
Since we're building on a turret, we'll start with spine of a cram cannon by setting up the connectors. These will serve to connect the firing piece and autoloaders in the following setup. Okay. Yeah.
Hold the vehicle still by pressing caps lock. Cycle a central mirror on by pressing Alt-N. Open the inventory by pressing E. Select the flashing red tab. Select the flashing red block. Left click to place the block. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Open the inventory by pressing E. Open the
I'm going to
inventory
immediately
by
start building an
pressing
optimal
E.
scanner for crank cannon. Since we are on a turret, we'll make it use of elevation barrier to maximize our vertical firing. We only need one elevation barrel.
Select the flashing red block. Move the marker into position.
Next
Open
we'll
the
add motor
inventory
trim.
by
This allows the
pressing
cannon to retain
E.
its large field of fire, even when regular barrels are added. For this cannon we're only going to need 4 motor trim barrels. Okay?
Select the flashing red block.
To be
Move
make
the
sure
marker into position.
I'm
Left
not
click
that
to
good
place
with
the
cram
block.
cannons.
Open the inventory
Finally, we
by
add more
pressing
4
E.
regulars to the entry, which will help to improve cram cannon shell speed and accuracy.
Select
Yeah.
the flashing red block. Left
I
click
would choose
to place the block.
the
Close
heavy
inventory
barrel
by
instead,
pressing E.
no matter
Left
what kind of
click
cram
to
cannon you're
place the
building.
block.
It might be a
Left
bit
click
more
to
expensive,
place
but
the
it's
block.
way more...
Open the inventory by pressing E.
Gouging greases are vital to make cram cannons have the big boom they are known for. We'll add 10 gouger increases for this size of
Select
cannon,
the
okay?
flashing red block. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Left click to place the block. Open the inventory by pressing E.
Set up autoloaders. While you can place ammo boxes and pallet boxes on connectors, you will find their worth when they're connected to autoloaders. Therefore, we will jump straight to that. Place 12 autoloaders around the connectors.
Select the flashing red block.
Yeah, I have no idea what this auto 3 times auto. I never got this one. Never managed to set it up properly.
Move
Always
the
use the
marker
manual one.
into position.
Oh Christ. Tab. Yeah, that should be alright.
Rotate the marker. Move the marker into position. Rotate the marker. Rotate the marker. Rotate the marker. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Rotate
I mean,
the marker.
it's just a basic
Move the marker into
cram
position.
cannon, so
Move
it's
the
nothing
marker
special,
into
but...
position. Select the flashing red block. Move the marker
Ammo
into
for the
position.
cannon. Next up we need to add ammo boxes. When connected to only connectors, they simply add ammo capacity to the cannon. When connected to autoloaders, however, they provide a fire rate boost as well. Let's make good use of that, yeah.
Left click to place the block.
Yeah.
Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position.
Quite a lot of these is
Open the
needed.
inventory by pressing
Pellets are what give cram cannon shell their power. The more pellets packed, the more they affect the shell. Harder pellets increase the armor piercing value of the shell, which is helpful for busting holes. Let's add some in it. Alright.
the flashing red block. Move
Harder
the marker
pellets.
into position.
Down.
Left click to place the block. Move the marker into position.
Okay.
Open the inventory.
Explosive
by
pellet
pressing
infused
E.
in cram shell with explosive properties, which makes them quite deadly. Let's add some explosive pellets
Select
to
the
the shell.
flashing red block. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Move the marker into position. Left
still
click
explosive.
to place the block. Move the marker into position.
The
Open
fusing
inventory
box is a
by
vital
pressing
asset if
E.
you wish to have more dynamic shells. They allow features such as penetration depth, inertial time properties. After placing the fusing box, you can press Q on the box to see your fuse. Fusing is optional.
Select
Yes, it
the
is.
flashing red block. Move the marker into position.
The real
Left
problem
click
with
to
cram
place the
cannons
block.
kind of
Open the
starts when
inventory
you
by pressing
building a multi-turret setups. A single turret is, well, this pretty much. When you start building multi-barrel turrets, it becomes like a freaking Tetris that I can never figure myself out of it, and yeah. The predictor will show the line that the shell will travel, which makes manual aiming easier. Yeah. Predictor is not required if it's AI control.
Select the flashing
yeah,
red
I
block.
know. But
Rotate
it's not really.
the marker. Left click to place the block. You're done. Leave build mode.
Yeah, by pressing B. So, very standard Crime cannon, build up, a single barrel. Pretty much it teaches you how to build a crime cannon. So it's okay. And it's not that bad. Really? This thing has 24 armor pierce? That's actually... Well, it's not that great, but it's not bad either. Explosive damage, 2500. Yeah, that's pretty low. Yeah, so you mean basic crime cannon composition build up thingy. Not really. I mean, let's go to the next one. There is still one more. Yeah, and then they are all just this type of guidelines, which one can read through, but we won't do it. I mean, they have some basic composition of this sort of stuff, but yeah, nothing in detail. So let's go with the last one, efficient engines. No narration. This tutorial shows how to place a large but efficient engine that burns fuel to create power. This efficient engine will have a lot more
some building now. From the depths uses a novel
fuel efficiency but a lower power output for its size. Since fuel efficiency engine will save you resources over time, you should look to prioritize building these types of engine over versions that use fuel injectors.
But you can tap F3
yeah, that's true. You should, especially right now in campaign, you should definitely build more fuel efficient. I'm sorry, I'm talking over the narrator, but I heard this like 100 times and I'm not completely sure how to skip it. If it's even possible.
By pressing B.
Yeah, all things begin here, just like the rest, with fuel engine generator. So yeah,
the vehicle still by pressing caps
and we're gonna mirror.
Cycle a central mirror on by pressing Alt N. Select the flashing red tab. Rotate
generator.
The marker. Open the inventory by pressing
crankshafts.
Move the marker into position.
Wait, what the hell?
Close the inventory by pressing
yeah.
Move the marker into position. Left
it went down.
To place the
That's
block.
why.
Select the flashing red block. Move the marker.
Cylinder is a couple more than before, okay?
To place the block. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Open the inventory by pressing
It's now
E.
time for the carburetors. They provide 100 power to attach cylinders, which makes them less power dense than injectors, but they can also attach more cylinders at once, which can make them just as strong as injector engines when built right. Yeah, they have, I think, 5 connections. At best. Even though I usually stop at 4.
Select the flashing red block. Move the marker into position. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block.
Carburetor is
Open the
placed.
inventory by pressing E.
Next up we will adding the superchargers. This block connect carburetors and improve fuel efficiency when engine is running at low RPMs. They can benefit multiple carburetors at once, so place them between carburetors when possible. What? Yeah.
Select the flashing red block.
Move
the marker
it just says
position.
that you can connect them to multiple carburetors at the same time. So, you know, like here where it connects 3 at the same time.
To place the block. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Open the inventory by pressing E.
Turbochargers can be tough to place but are vital for any fuel efficient engine running at high RPMs. Connect the main block to the cylinder and the top part to a carburetor. The info for the turbocharger will tell you if it's connected properly. Okay.
Select the flashing red block.
This one
Move
is
the marker into position.
Down.
Left click to place the block. Open the
And
inventory
we're gonna
by
build
pressing
the left
E.
one,
Move the marker
which we
into
have to
position.
rotate.
Open the inventory by pressing E.
You want an exhaust pipes, okay?
Block. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Move the marker into position. Open the inventory by pressing E. Rotate the marker. Left click to place the block. Left click to place the block.
So we're
Move the
building
marker
here
into position. Open the inventory by pressing
An
E.
exhaust pipes.
Rotate the marker. Open the inventory
Way
by
more
pressing
than
E.
in the
Rotate the
last
marker.
tutorial.
Move the marker into position.
Even
Open
though
the
in that
inventory
tutorial
by
that...
pressing E.
Wait a second. Will this even work?
Select the flashing red tab. Select the flashing red block. Rotate the marker. Move the marker into position. Rotate the marker. Left click to place the block. Open the inventory by pressing E. Move the marker into position. Left click to place the block. Move the marker into position. You're done. Leave build mode by pressing B.
I don't wanna. Turbo. Ah! Ah! Holy Christ. I always thought that the carburetors, no, the chargers have to be connected to both the carburetor and the cylinder. But they don't have to be. And actually you get more fuel efficiency out of them if you have attached carburetor. Generates extra power. Fuel burn bonus depends on the amount of exhaust gases flowing through the turbo. Ah. Well, I learned something new today. This is actually very, very good information that I have learned. I'm not really sure how to use it yet, but this is something new. I always always thought that you have to connect one side of the turbocharger to the carburetors and another one to the cylinder. That's why I never seen like the point of using inline turbochargers, because there was no way to connect them properly. They're just silly. But this way, I see the point now. That's actually very, very, very good info. Right there and then. I mean, in the engines I'm building, usually this sort of trickery would not exactly work, but still. This is actually very, very good information for someone to know. So yeah, you do not have to. You can just connect the carburetor and then you can use the exhaust pipe, like in this sort of connection, to give you the boost. Oh, that's that. Okay, let's... well done, we have completed this engine. Yeah, even more efficient than this engine. Remember to experiment. That's always a good idea. Also remember that a failed design isn't a failure. It's a learning experience. Yeah, I know. I know that one. Dang. Okay, I think we're done now. Return to the main menu. And yeah, we're done for all of the interactive ones. The rest are just press button, leave next, right? Some of these are also like still written instructions. I would recommend anyone, like if you start in the game, go through the tutorial. It will help you a lot. A lot of people, like, you know, not wanting to go through it, but you know, you should. You just should. I'm pretty sure I checked it, but yeah. Yeah, I would seriously recommend you going through the tutorial. May not be perfect. The dev test currently it's showing it's... things are up, subject to change, of course. Definitely would love to see some extra tutorials going around. There are, I think, some community tutorials available up as well. I'm not even sure. yeah, I'm not really sure how to get those, but there have been quite a lot of things available on Steam and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure this must be right now pretty loud with everything firing around, so I'm just gonna end it up with this. Yeah, go through the tutorial, it will help you a lot. It's not perfect by far, and there's some stuff that is incorrect in it at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there at some point. So yeah, do the tutorial. It makes your life easier, especially in this game, because a lot of people I have seen, like on Steam, Discord and stuff, it's that they are complaining about pretty much not knowing basic stuff. So yeah, going through a tutorial like this does help a lot, and yeah, there is a lot of stuff that is also missing, and that's where you pretty much experiment. There is nothing else to say about it. So yeah, tutorials useful but slightly bit broken. And guess that's gonna be it for today, and well, see ya.